let's get started. Let's just dive in right away. You could take a screenshot of this if you want. If you want to just save some of the information or this particular topic, you want to forward it to somebody right now, grab a screenshot of it, and then just start texting it to folks and tell them that they need to get on because Dr. Prasad will be popping up in just a couple of moments within our discussion. So we can look forward to that. So before we start, though, please keep in mind that as we have discussions like this, that the FDA has not evaluated these statements. Testimonials that you hear are purely anecdotal. Results are atypical. What happens to one person may or may not happen to you. Engage Global, Jonathan Jones, Dr. Prasad, Bernard Dean, Jeff Ashby, none of the hosts and co-hosts of this program are making any claims that MicroDaily or Engage Global products will treat or cure any disease state. Only the government can declare a nutritional supplement to be a treatment for or cure of any disease. Only the government can do that. So we're not making that claim at all. But we are claiming that these products that we will be telling you about, that Dr. Prasad will tell you a little bit about, are phenomenal supplements. And you'll see that for yourself, just how good the supplements are themselves, and they help the body do what it is designed to do. The information that you're about to hear is for information and educational purposes only. So it's not to be considered a substitute for visiting your primary health care physician. So we say that just because we need to really make it clear that what you're hearing is information, okay? And that's required by law that we share those disclaimers with you. So here we go, Kidney Health Awareness Month. Kidney Health Awareness Month. Did you know that chronic kidney disease affects more than 1 out of 7 adults? Now, if you do the math, you're talking about somewhere in the area of 37 million people here in the United States. So, and I told you that there was 2 major categories. They're kind of mentioned here in this next bullet. For individuals with diabetes or high blood pressure, those are the 2 most common causes of kidney disease. The risk of chronic kidney disease is even greater. So you don't have to have diabetes or high blood pressure to come down with chronic kidney disease. And some actually say, well, which came first, the chicken or the egg? You know, does the kidney problem cause the high blood pressure problem, or does the high blood pressure problem cause the kidney problem? Which came first, the chicken or the egg? So hopefully Dr. Prasad will maybe shed some light on that for us. But this week, we're going to be focusing our attention on the diabetes component, the role that diabetes can play with this CKD, with chronic kidney disease. So that's where we're going to be going here now. Nearly 1 in 3 people with diabetes, 1 in 5 people with high blood pressure have kidney disease. So despite its prevalence, up to 9 in 10 adults are completely unaware that they have the disease. That's kind of mind-boggling. Anyway, but these are the statistics that have that pop up. 9 in 10 who have chronic kidney disease don't even know that they have it. So how many have felt that you got this little pain in the lower part of your back there? You just think that, you know, it's kind of old age, or you've been sitting funny or sitting too long, that little pain in the back. Get that pain back there sometime? Yeah, well, it may not necessarily be a back pain. It doesn't mean there's something more serious than that. You need to, you know, seek the competent medical advice of professionals that you trust. But that pain in the lower back could be an indication of not drinking enough water, and it could be an indication of something else taking place. Early stage kidney disease often has no symptoms whatsoever, and many people discover they have chronic kidney disease, or CKD, when it is advanced significantly. It can worsen over time, potentially leading to kidney failure, stroke, or heart attack. So again, there comes that question about which came first, the chicken or the egg. So kind of have to, you know, weigh that for yourself on that. But as you can see, it starts with, you know, they say stage 1 is where we all are right now, but then it can progress on to stage 5, which is total kidney failure, as you can see in the progression of that chart. A kidney looks a little bit like a kidney bean, doesn't it? Approximately 2 in 1,000 Americans, which means 1 in 500. I'm not sure why they decided to go 2 in 1,000. Well, I guess the thousand is what they measure a lot of things by. It's so many out of every thousand is what they scientifically do statistics. But that translates into 1 out of 500 Americans live with end-stage kidney disease. And that's the kind of kidney disease that requires some kind of a treatment, kidney transplant or dialysis. And I don't know about you, but I look around and you see dialysis centers popping up all over the place. I was in a town there with one affiliate, Joyce Morris. I think she's on a meeting now. I think I saw her pop in over there in Sanford, near Sanford, Florida. Was it in Sanford, Florida? And I was just surprised to see just how many kidney dialysis centers there were in that one little small town. One little small town, just riddled with kidney dialysis centers. And the amount of revenue that generates is staggering. Perhaps we'll even talk a little bit about the revenue in the coming weeks, because this month is all about CKD, chronic kidney disease. So now we talk a little bit about this end-stage kidney disease. Just look at the numbers. 808,000 people live with this end-stage kidney disease. End-stage kidney disease. So that's all the way down to stage 4, stage 5. And of those, 69% are on dialysis, 31% have received a kidney transplant. I have a cousin right now. She just recently posted on Facebook in Georgia that she's had a successful kidney transplant, and the doctor just recently said that she's doing quite well. So the numbers, it really is affecting families everywhere. I think all families are affected to some degree. Now, it does say that men are 1.6 times more likely to develop this end-stage kidney disease than women. I'm not sure why that is. I'm not sure if that has more to do with the fact that women are the stronger sex, or if it's because men are just the stupider part of the species. I'm just kidding now, of course, you know that, right? I'm just throwing that out there. But I do believe that women, when it comes to health-related matters, are a lot more in tune with their body and tend to respond quicker when something is not quite right. They want to have something confirmed or checked out a lot longer than a man would, because most of the time, if something's hurting on me, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll just, you just suck it up and tough it out. I mean, you could be talking about a sharp pain in the chest and you just want to see how it goes. I had a good friend of mine it's been about a month ago now. And his wife said that he was not feeling well and he looked terrible. He was complaining about this pain that he was having. And she insisted on calling 911, but he talked her out of it. Said, no, you just need to rest a little while and he would be okay. And by the time the paramedics got there, they spent 20 minutes on him before they even left the front yard, in the truck trying to revive him. And he never did revive. No history of heart disease, no nothing, but he just didn't make it. Now, I'm just, again, trying to talk about the difference between men and women. I think if it had been a woman, weeks ago, she would have gone and had that checked out. But men, I don't know. We just tend to just move along. We'll talk a little bit more about the demographics next week. But as you can see, Black people are 4 times more likely to develop end-stage kidney disease. That's even more than Hispanics, Native Americans, and white population. So again, we'll hit the demographics a little bit more next week. But we want to share, before we bring Dr. Prasad up, we want to share maybe one story with you that demonstrates or illustrates the value of a micronutrient being involved in health, in kidney issues. Okay, so just hang on a second here. Let's get that queued up. I have an audio version of one, because this particular woman came onto our program one day and just said I had to tell the story. And she was just talking about her mom. Her mom was in intensive care and was just very ill, and her kidneys were not functioning. They weren't functioning at all. At least that's the story that she shared with us. And she had to be very careful in what she did because she also worked at the same facility that her mom was being treated in. So let's see if I can get this to play for us. Hang on one second here, folks. Kareen Evans is her name. In fact, if there's anyone here that has had some results with their kidney issues and benefited from micronutrients or any of the engaged products, we'd love to hear your story as well. So make sure you direct message me or Bernard and let us know so we can share that. Okay, so I think the screen is shared, and let's see if we can get it to play. Amazing. It's amazing. So,
can I talk real quickly? I have to run. Is it all right?
Your name, please.
My name is Kareen.
Okay, Kareen.
All right, so I just have to say it. So I started, I've been pre-diabetic, and I started the entire supplement last Friday, and my blood sugar been running like 115. Now, since I start using it, it's been like 88. Anyway, I'm not even here to talk about me. So my mom, I'm a nurse, and my mom been in the hospital.
Wait, hold on a second, Kareen.
Yes.
You said you started when?
Last Friday. Last Friday. And usually if I run to open my door, I'm out of breath. Kareen, and I can run half a block without being out of breath right now.
Are you saying a week ago Friday or
a week ago? Last Friday I started it.
Uh-huh.
But what I need to tell you, what I didn't even tell them in the hospital. My mom is in the hospital. I took her to the hospital Friday morning. Congestive heart failure. She's also diabetic. And she has chronic kidney stage 4. So she has all this fluid on her. They put her in MSICU, and she's been having a lot of problems. I was scared to death as a nurse, thinking I'm going to lose my mom. Difficulty breathing, her lungs filled with fluid and all that. Anyway, I said, I want to try it. I want to try it on her. But then I'm like, oh my God, should I not? So I went to the hospital and I mixed 4 capsules of the Micro Daily in the applesauce, and I gave it to her yesterday morning. Now, she wasn't peeing. They're thinking diabetes. They're thinking dialysis because her kidney functions are way, way off. I'm like, oh my God, I can't give her dialysis. Now, I kid you not. Within 5 hours of me giving that to my mom, now they had put a Foley in her because they want to see if the urine output was coming. They're like, we don't see urine, maybe she's retaining. Now, within 5 hours, that urine, that bag had 800 liters of urine in it. I kid you not. Now, I wanted then, her hemoglobin was a bit low. So the nurse said, is she anemic? Yeah, she is. So they said, then they kind of tugged the Foley a little bit. So there was a little bit of blood. So they did a hemoglobin to see what her blood count was. Now, with the bleeding, her blood count should be lower. Her blood count went up by 2 points. 2 points. I kid you not. Then, my mom, she's been sleeping ever since I put her in the hospital, sleeping. She would open her eyes and go right back into a deep sleep. When I went back to her yesterday, she was up singing. All last night, she was peeing like rain. All right, in the Foley catheter. I went back this morning because she's in MSICU now, and they're saying, hey, they're asking me, is she full code? Yes, she's full code. All right. I went back this morning and I gave her another dose. The cardiologist, they called me and they said she might go home Tuesday. So the nurse, they did a urine culture. They were like, oh, we gave her some antibiotic just to make sure. But she just turned around, a full U-turn back to okay. So we think it's a dose of antibiotic that did it. But I did not tell them what I did because I wasn't supposed to do it. And I'm a nurse and I work at that hospital. So I couldn't tell them. But oh my God, I just had to say it. I am driving now to go give her another dose. And I just had to say it because I tried it so I could introduce it to my patients. But when I see what it did to my mom that I thought I was going to lose, I'm like, oh my God. So
Karen,
that's
that's
my
wonderful.
story. I don't even want to talk about me right now. I'll talk about me another time. But
Okay.
this just helped my mom. Her kidney function, her BUN and creatinine started going up to the normal level. It's not there yet. It's going up, going in the right direction. Her blood glucose, because when they check it, it was 244. When they check it, it was 118 again. Oh my God.
How old is your mom, Karen?
87.
Wow.
87. And now, nice clear urine coming out. That wasn't coming before. They were setting up dialysis for her.
Which
Now the doctors is like, oh my God, okay, she's doing very well. You know, we don't know. The nurse is thinking it's the antibiotic. It was not the antibiotic.
Antibiotic is amazing. Yeah, just amazing.
It was the micro daily that did it.
Which formula did you give your mom? EMF or original?
Yeah, the red label.
And you gave her
four. I gave her 4. Yes.
Karen, you've your story will undoubtedly help a lot of people because
oh my God. I am a nurse. I'm almost a nurse practitioner. And wow. I was a bit hesitant to give it to her. But I'm like, you know what? They're telling me my mom is doing very bad. I'm just going to take my chances. Oh my God. That's right. My mom sang a whole hymn this evening to me.
Wow. Who sponsored you, Karen? Who introduced you?
Andrea Fine and Carlos Alvarez.
Okay. That's wonderful. Carlos Alvarez is going to influence a large number of people. So thank you very much for sharing the story. And we would appreciate it if you would come back next Sunday when we have Dr. Prasad on. Would you please come back and be prepared to tell your story?
I will. And my mom should be home and I'll let her talk.
Please do.
All right.
That's going to be very important. Okay. Because the Dr. Prasad is going to just, he's going to be blown away. He's not going to believe it. Okay. We need.
Oh my God! I knew what it was doing for me, but I was a bit, especially with her age, and she has a lot of stuff going on: congestive heart failure, diabetes, hypertension. She had a heart attack before. She had a stroke before. A whole lot. And oh my God. Whew, okay, I just had to say that.
No, we're glad we're glad you felt like you had to say that. Thank you very much.
Okay.
And you're bringing a lot of folks to tears just with the thought of it.
Yes. Right? Oh yeah, I was in tears.
And we're excited.
Oh my God.
We're excited to hear it because if everybody would just be willing to take a chance like that, just like you, because and folks, listen. This is the food that's missing from food. People will say, my doctor said don't take anything. Did your doctor tell you to stop eating? If the doctor said don't eat, then yeah, don't take it. Let's break in right there, and got a couple of hands. So Corleen, do you have wait a minute, Corleen, Kareen Evans.
And, I know Kareen. Kareen is actually on our team.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
I just want to say that, they sent Miss Olive home and they said she had 3 years to live. Miss Olive celebrated her 88th birthday on May 31st. She has had a wonderful Christmas. I talked to her 2 weeks ago and she's doing fine. So it's just amazing. But just think if Kareem had not her faith and her determination that the doctors were not going to say there's nothing else that can help. It is amazing. Her story is one that will make you continue to share this product every day.
Well, I know personally, I was excited when I saw that that this was going to be the kidney month, because it would be a chance for us to spotlight her story. And maybe one day, if she'd be willing to come on, her, Kareen, and Ms. Olive can come on, and we can just chat with them for a little bit to see. But
I will work on that. She is doing so well, Jonathan.
You said she had 3 days to live.
They told the doctors told Kareen, no matter what, your mother will be dead in 3 days.
So
So
they
they
weren't
sent
they
her
weren't impressed
home.
by the fact that her kidneys were working. They just said it doesn't matter whether they're working or not. She's gonna be dead in 3
Right.
days.
There's nothing else we can do. They sent her home December 28th, 2022. Miss
2022.
Olive is doing, Miss Olive goes shopping. And when I say she's doing fine, she goes shopping. You know, she is originally from Jamaica. So she has all, and she sings to you. And oh, she is just, it's just wonderful to have conversation with her. But yeah, the doctor said there's nothing more we can do.
Hmm.
Your mother will be dead. Your mother will be dead in 3 days.
Hmm. Sobering. Sobering.
Yeah,
Thank you very much for giving us that update. And if you could arrange that again, because this is that month of we're talking about the kidneys, then we would love to just hear from her directly and get excited all over again to hear the story. Thank you very
absolutely.
much for jumping in and sharing that update.
All right.
Wow. Okay. Got one more to share with you while we're waiting for Dr. Prasad. Um, this is another very interesting one because, seriously, how many, anyone else on here, by the way, have family members that are dialyzing now and having kidney issues right now, just by show of digital hands? We have some. Okay, yeah, there's quite a few hands that are popping up. Okay, well, we had another gentleman, and you can keep those hands up because we want to see them. We had another gentleman in a very similar situation. This was his brother-in-law that he told us about, and once again, it was just very shocking to hear. It wasn't a 3 days to live, situation like Ms. Olive, but it was still shocking to hear that the results turned out to be as dramatic as they were. So let's see if we can't get Greg Value to tell us a little bit about his brother-in-law's situation.
All right, now this was in July.
Get that. Okay, so it's up.
All right, now this was in July. All right, my brother-in-law, he's got diabetes, high blood pressure, and stage 4 kidney disease. Okay, and they both been on micro daily about, I'm gonna say about a month and a half total. Okay, they started in, let's say, August 6th. So September, yeah, about a month and a half, almost 2 months. Now my brother-in-law, man, I don't even know what to say about this. His blood sugar is leveled out. He's still at 114, 125. That was, before when he woke up, he tested it, and it was at 300, 350. After about 4 or 5 days of being on micro daily EMF, it went down between 114 and 125. He was happy just about that. All right, now his high blood pressure has leveled out. Okay, to where, he's scared to take his medicine for his high blood pressure. I said, no, go ahead and take it, dude. I said, you take your medicine, let the doctors tell you not to take it. All right. Now, yesterday, he's got stage 4 kidney disease, and he's going Wednesday for his checkup on it. He went and got his blood test, and we've been waiting on the score back from it's called the EGRF number, which tells you when you need to go on dialysis. His number last month was 15, which is 1 away from going on dialysis. Last night, when he got back yesterday, we checked his MyChart. You ready for this, man? He'd been on it a month and a half. His number went from 15 to 26.
Did the doctor go back and check it again just to make sure?
We ain't went to the doctor yet. That was they sent him for a blood test a week before his appointment. So I myself is going with him on October the 5th to his appointment, and I want to see what the doctor has to say about what he's been doing.
Take a recorder.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, but yeah, I was waiting. I said, don't let it stay the same or grow a point or two, because I will not shut up about micro daily. It went up 11 points. So I'm ecstatic. He's ecstatic. We was like, oh my goodness. So yeah, because I checked I got my little printout right here. Man, I was going over it with Willie, and I said, look, mine's at 78 the last time they checked it. His went up 11 points. So I told Rob, man, I've been telling everybody. I mean, I got my flag planted, dude. Everybody and their mama's gonna know about micro daily from Greg. I can tell you that, brother.
Well, that's a bittersweet piece of news there, Greg, because what you just said indicates that my other mother, if she had just continued, instead of heading toward dialysis,
Yeah,
would have been a different outcome.
the reason I firmly believe they was wanting to cut on his arm, on his left arm, to put that little, I guess, device in there for his dialysis. And I was like, well, they already told him, well, you're going to need dialysis anyway. Let's go ahead and get you started on that and get your report ready. And then, because it's going to take 4 to 6 weeks for it to heal. I was like, he's 1 point away. What happens if he needs dialysis now? And, he said, I'm going to wait until my doctor's appointment and see what the micro daily does.
Yeah.
I said, might as well. So he waited, and it went up 11 points. So I'm ecstatic. I didn't go to sleep last night at 3:00.
That's incredible. That's incredible. There you go. Once again, there you have it. That's two stories, two amazing testimonials that kind of give us an idea of what can happen. And again, remember, testimonials are purely anecdotal. What happens to one person may or may not happen to you. And that's kind of why we're showing you that the disclaimer once again, just so that you can keep that in mind. But the fact that there's more than one person, and by the way, this is just a snapshot of a few of the individuals, just 2 of the individuals who have told us similar stories. Okay, but let's talk a little bit to Dr. Prasad and see if Dr. Prasad can shed some light on this for us as to how and why it is that something as simple as a micronutrient can have such a huge impact on kidney health. And why is it that everybody should be doing something about their overall health in general when it comes to this dreaded condition? So, who's Dr. Prasad? Dr. Prasad is the most preeminently qualified individual that we have. He was the professor at the University of Colorado School of Medicine for some 30 years. He was the director of vitamin and cancer research. He was a former president of the International Society of Cancer Nutrition, member of the Royal Society of Medicine, London, UK. Also, he was invited to be on the Nobel Peace Prize nominated committee for candidates in medicine. He was the world's first radiation biology PhD. His products have been awarded some 8 US patents. I think we're at number 9 as we speak. We're at number 9 on micronutrients. He discovered the anti-cancer potency of vitamin succinate. He discovered the butyric acid, small fatty acid formed by the fermentation of fibers in the gut, is an anti-cancer agent. He's also the author or co-author of some 33 books. And Dr. Prasad, it says here, has been published 250 times in peer-reviewed articles. That's over 300. So I got to correct that on the future slide. So he has forgotten more than we know when it comes to the subject of micronutrients. So it is my pleasure and my privilege to introduce to our discussion now Dr. Kedar Prasad, and we're always happy to have him in on our program, and thrilled whenever he's able to make it and take some time out of his busy schedule to join us on programs like this. So Dr. Prasad, I think you're already here. Let me just add you to the spotlight. Thank you very much again for joining us.
First, I apologize. I was working on some issue that took my brain off of my engagement for today at 2:00.
Dr. Prasad, you have nothing to apologize for. So we just set it up. I just shared a bunch of the statistics on how prevalent
I heard part of them.
chronic. Oh, you heard part? Yeah, I shared part of the statistic on how prevalent chronic kidney disease is.
Yes.
And then just 2 testimonials You know,
Yeah.
one testimony I think you've heard before, the one with Kareen's mom.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, she was in the hospital and kidneys had shut down, and now Greg Value the same thing. And in both cases, the EGRF numbers just went through the roof.
Yeah, I know.
So tell us about this, Dr. Prasad. How is it that
Yeah,
a micronutrient can do this?
as you know, the oxidative stress and inflammation, which are induced by many other external factors, is environmental, it is diet, poor rich micronutrient diet, lack of exercise, many other external factors which affects your body and increases the oxidative stress level. And then what happens if you become too much oxidative stress that your own defense system cannot handle it? Then you start damaging the organs. And it could be a kidney organ, and gradually it could be your brain. But kidney looks like is more sensitive because by the time you also develop a diabetes, and of course diabetes but further enhances the level of oxidative stress which was present in your body already. So until you do something to reduce them, you are going to have a kidney damage eventually. There is no question about it. And because these are the major that causes every damage, increased oxidative stress and inflammation. So what micronutrient alone does it is that they reduce oxidative stress and inflammation by two mechanisms. What it also increases this is absolutely essential to have an optimal increase in oxidative status in your body, anti-oxidative status in your body. Micronutrient will do two things. It also increases the antioxidant enzyme, which also goes down when you are suffering from oxidative stress. And also it decreases the antioxidant compound like vitamin A, C, E. And when we talk about antioxidant enzymes, we are talking about catalase, manganese peroxidase, the glutathione peroxidase, and so superoxide dismutase, those three major antioxidant enzymes. And they get all elevated. Why? Because micronutrient that we have certain antioxidant can activate what is called a nuclear transcription factor NRF2. NRF2, you may have heard it. When
Yes.
it gets activated, then your antioxidant enzyme increases. Without that, you can't increase the antioxidant enzyme. So if you give certain kind of supplement which just has an antioxidant compound and they don't do it, increase not all antioxidant does it, only certain type of antioxidant does it. So this way we increases it. When oxidative stress goes down, then everything started coming down. Then I don't know if they were taking probiotics or not, but
You had not released them at the time.
at the time didn't. But again, it is a contributing factor,
Right.
but major factor is micronutrient, and that helps. But now we know there are also which contributes to the especially with respect to say diabetes, in case you have diabetes, or even if you're old without diabetes,
Right.
you have intestinal dysbiosis. And when we talk about intestinal dysbiosis, means number of harmful bacteria has increased more than beneficial bacteria. That is, we define intestinal dysbiosis. And so the question is that if it is there, then they will contribute to, not the major player like oxidative, but they will contribute to the development and progression of the disease or kidney disease or any kind of disease. So you have to downregulate, you have to decrease them at the same time, you have to reverse them. So how do you do it? Well, we have probiotics with prebiotics. If you take daily in the night before going to bed, and daily, they will reverse the intestinal dysbiosis. So now your beneficial bacteria in your gut, it makes the intestine very healthy and also start producing some beneficial molecule for you, such as vitamin K, certain B vitamin, neurotransmitter, and these are all very useful for your health. So it is absolutely essential for older people with or without any disease, say kidney disease or any disease. You
Right.
must have a probiotics. If you have to do only two things, you have a micronutrient and the EMF hydro, in case you have this kind of issues, kidney, and then you have also, and also like Jonathan said, you always consult whatever we are recommending. You always consult with your doctor before adopting our suggestion. But I'm taking what the research are available, what they're supposed to do, and that's the reason you see that indeed they do what he's supposed to do, and it decrease oxidative stress and inflammation, so your kidney function starts improving.
That makes perfect sense, Dr. Prasad. You've said in the past, and when I looked this up also just to make it clear for me, because I really did not see the direct connection between diabetes and the kidneys, but you said very clearly once that if the red blood cells are not carrying sufficient oxygen to the kidney, that's one problem.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
you also said if the red blood cells are carrying too much glucose
yes,
the kidneys, that's another problem.
yeah.
Is it because it affects the capillaries in the kidneys and it causes them to does it ruin the filters? Is that how
And
it works?
also what happens that glucose uh, generally it gets excreted through the urine, but when
Ah,
disease occurs, then glucose does not get secreted, so they accumulate. And when you have excess glucose any place, they get oxidized and generates more free radicals.
ooh,
So it has a terrible function. Not only glucose will bind with hemoglobin and reduce. That's why you feel tired and not good because your body is not getting enough oxygen because your ANC level, A1C level is very high.
okay.
And so eventually what it does is as the disease progresses, generally your excess glucose is there, they get eliminated from the urine. But now they block it. So
Mhm.
now glucose accumulates in your body, in your blood, because it's not being excreted out. And
Uh,
when that happens, then you have increased oxidative stress near the kidney, because near the kidney is glucose. So
yeah,
it's further aggravated already existing oxidative stress and inflammation.
big
So if you
problem.
block those kind of things, that the oxidative stress, then what happens? Then the insulin started working, and glucose started going down every place,
Mhm.
and
Wow.
the kidney start functioning. So now they can eliminate glucose. So
Mhm.
protecting the kidney from oxidative stress and inflammation is extremely important. And micronutrient who does it, it does it. And what probiotic does, it makes you very healthy. So anything you eat or anything you take, micronutrient or good food, they get absorbed better.
Right. Right. Understood. So, we've had folks that look at this label, Dr. Prasad, and they tell us that these are just vitamins, and some folks have actually even had the nerve to say that that I'm taking all this already, and I don't need to to take something like this. But what is the rationale for someone who is a diabetic? And let's say, because I have a client right now, she's in a nursing home. It's assisted living, a rehab facility. And they're giving her all the medication she's supposed to have, which we understand, but they also give her a lot of the vitamins, the
Mhm.
multivitamins that they believe that they should have. But what would be the rationale for her getting her doctor and the staff to give her these vitamins as opposed to the ones that they have there stored up for her?
First, I don't know what kind of vitamin they are taking, multivitamin, but generally, when I was doing research, generally, I don't know about that specific. They generally have only the dietary antioxidant. In other words, they will have only vitamin A, vitamin C, D, E, and some B vitamins. They
Mhm.
don't have for example, N-acetylcysteine, alpha-lipoic acid, coenzyme Q10, and beta carotene. So, and we have it. So that's one potential difference. But another very important difference is that a vitamin A, generally, they think that vitamin A and beta carotene are same.
Mhm.
They think they are same because one molecule of beta carotene makes two molecules of vitamin A.
Mhm.
And so, but that's it, that part is true. But also they have a unique function that one can produce but not the other. For example, there is a gene called connection protein. It's called connection protein. And they hold two normal cells together. So that's very important protein. So what cancer cell have, when cancer cell becomes cancerous, that protein gets lost.
Mm.
So what beta carotene does, it restores the gene which is the turn off, get activated and has started producing again connection gene, and cell becomes non-cancerous. And vitamin A cannot do it. Same thing is the vitamin A can induce cell differentiation, like your muscle cell, nerve cell differentiation, various kind of, but beta carotene cannot do it. So there are many other functions that one can do, but not the other. So we have treated them as a separate ingredient rather than both are the same.
Wow.
That's and that makes it enormous difference because beta carotene has enormous function, many other kind of function.
That's
And
huge.
go ahead.
No. Go ahead, sir.
Vitamin C. Suppose if you add vitamin C, you can add vitamin C, ascorbic acid, which is much cheaper. But ascorbic acid is extremely acidic. Some people can get upset stomach, and they do get upset stomach. And so we say we don't know, so we use a calcium ascorbate, which is a buffered vitamin C. And our vitamin C generally is higher level than any place else because this is extremely important vitamin C. Vitamin D, probably everybody give the same thing, nothing. But vitamin E, generally, you will see that they will add alpha tocopherol acetate. But we have added a two form of vitamin E, which is one of the major difference. One is vitamin E, alpha tocopherol acetate that everybody added. But unique is that we added a alpha tocopherol succinate, which, as you know, I discovered as an anti-cancer agent, but it has many other functions. For example, it can cross the blood-brain barrier more easily because it is much more soluble than vitamin E acetate,
Mhm.
more soluble. So they can enter in the brain, and then brain they get converted to alpha tocopherol, and then they do the function. Plus, it has some unique function that vitamin E acetate cannot do it. So in order to increase the effectiveness of vitamin E, we added a both form. No other vitamin company has it. And
No.
same way with that we added as I mentioned, N-acetylcysteine, which is very important because it increases your glutathione level in your body. And N-acetylcysteine by itself is important because it is also act as a chelating agent. So if your body has some heavy metal like mercury or lead or any kind of heavy metal, zirconium, molybdenum, they can chelate and excrete it out. Not many
Okay.
people have that.
Okay. So we're really talking about a micronutrient here that's far superior to
Yes.
anything else that's out there.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't even be any discussion about it. And you've
And
already
also,
told
don't
us.
forget it. Also forget it. Don't forget
Yeah.
it that it has the most extensively clinically tested
Yes.
with the Department of Defense and
Yes.
the civilian market,
Yes.
and
Yes.
not
Yes.
market,
Yes.
on civilian
Yes.
population.
Absolutely. Very good. Very good. And you told us the benefits of this probiotic. There's no question about its value. What about as far as kidney zen omega-3 daily? Does this have any benefit?
Is very important. Kidney benefit is because omega-3, first, it is a absolutely essential fatty acid for your body, needs for your health, but your body do not make it. Your body does not make this, so you have to rely on a diet, and diet where the richest source is a fish, but you can't eat fish every day, and it is not practical. So we have to rely on a supplement, and a supplement So what it does, omega-3 fatty, is not it is important for your brain and heart function, but also omega-3, for example, in case of diabetes or kidney disease, diabetes leading to kidney disease. And the reason it is progressing diabetes, because insulin becomes resistant.
Mm.
So glucose now insulin cannot take the glucose inside the cell. So what it does, and the way insulin takes the glucose inside the cell is that when the insulin comes into blood and there's a glucose high, then it goes to bind this receptor in the cell, outer cell membrane receptor. And when they binds it, and if receptor is working, then it activates another molecule called AKT, or protein kinase B. They get activated. Once that get activated, then the glucose transporter 4, which is lying idle in the cytoplasm, takes the message, go to the cell surface membrane, and allow glucose to come in. Yeah, for generating energy. But say, suppose if you become insulin resistant because the receptor gets damaged by oxidative stress, then what? There is omega-3, if you are taking, there is nothing else, that the disease will continue to progress. But if you are taking omega-3 will directly activate AKT molecules.
That's amazing.
Directly activate. And AKT doesn't care who activates it. Once it gets activated, glucose transporter protein 4, that message go to this cell surface to allow glucose to come in. So this is why it is very important, especially.
That's amazing. That's amazing, Dr. Prasad. And I don't think most of us just have a hard time wrapping our head around that, but that is absolutely amazing. Your digestive enzyme just does not compare to any other. But tell us a little bit about collagen daily and why this will benefit someone with CKD.
For everybody, but especially for the kidney disease. First, if you have a diabetes, say for example, then what happens when you are develop the diabetes, then the flow of insulin from pancreas to blood decreases. So there is a deficiency of insulin. So even though receptor is good, but insulin is not enough to take care of the glucose level, high level of glucose. So what collagen peptide does, and the reason it happens, that insulin is not getting from pancreas to the blood, very little, because there is an enzyme called DPP4 enzyme that gets elevated. When that gets elevated, then these things cannot flow. Insulin cannot flow from pancreas to the blood. And so there is a FDA-approved drug which acts as an inhibitor of DPP4 enzyme. So if you inhibit that enzyme, then insulin started flowing from the pancreas to the blood, just like a normal case. And so that is helpful. But the FDA-approved drug that they are recommending right now also produces some toxicity. But collagen peptide does exactly the same thing. It acts as an inhibitor of DPP4 enzyme, and therefore it will allow the smooth flow of insulin from the pancreas to the blood. This is very important function. Another function, it is incredible. Another function, a very important function that most of the people have ignored in the past, even in a scientific community, is that as you know, Jonathan, that 30% of our total body protein that we have in our body, 30% is collagen. That means it is present in all your organs, not only in the skin. So what happens when you age? So one of the major functions of the collagen is to maintain the structure, integrity of all organs, including kidney, brain, heart. Very important to maintain. As you grow older, then collagen start getting lost. And you can see it in your skin. You get wrinkled, gets saggy, and looks older. But you can see what is happening in your brain, in kidney, and heart. But
Right.
they're also shrinking.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and when they shrinks, even 5%, then their function gets impaired more.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see that on the top of oxidative stress inflammation, if you have low collagen level, that will further interfere with the kidney function, and then you are in a trouble, further trouble. And so what collagen peptide does, that it increases your collagen level. Not only you look younger, but also, for example, joint and other improvement, but it also improve the structure, integrity of your organs, all organs. So this is extremely important. And
Well, I like the sound of that.
in case of diabetes, it has been shown in a clinical trial, double-blind placebo trial type study, that people who are taking already medications, somebody 1, somebody 2, somebody 5, but so one was medical drug group. Another group was drug group plus the collagen peptides, not our, but somebody else. And so what happens then in 12-week study, they found that the drug group had also improvement in fasting glucose. It was like 125. A1C was like 6.8. And so it was improvement. And so, but when they combined group, drops further, glucose was 100, around 100. And A1C becomes 5. And also insulin sensitivity increased from 6 to 5, they were measuring. So even in combination, that's why I said no matter whether you are taking medication or not taking medication, doesn't make difference. It will further improve your overall health. And so collagen is so important. People have not realized how important it is. When you look for aging, well, and look your skin. But what is going on in your heart, your brain, your kidney, you don't know. Because
Right.
until you do a PET scanning, you will not know that they are shrinking also.
That's right. That's right. That's remarkable, Dr. Prasad.
And actually, they did a clinical study, not in kidney, but in a Alzheimer's disease. With PET scan, indeed, they found the structure of the brain was disturbed. And then they treated them for 12 weeks, again, collagen peptides, and they found that the structural integrity was improved and memory was improved. Just in those cases, they just do one agent trial. I don't believe in that. At least from there we can get some idea.
Right.
But if you have an optimal one, then you take the whole core 4, like we mentioned to you, and digestive enzyme
Right.
for
Right.
optimal effect.
That's fantastic, Dr. Prasad. And I think this gets the month of March off to a phenomenal start. And I hope that everyone was paying attention. This was all recorded, by the way, in case anyone is looking to get access to it. Just go to my YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/Jonathan Jones. And you just go to the live section and you'll find the recordings like this if you want to share this with someone that you care about. So you can always get access to it. But Dr. Prasad has made it very, very clear that if anyone is concerned about chronic kidney disease right now, especially now, you heard the two testimonies at the very beginning, which we're still reeling over the major impact
Yes.
it had. But the core 4 is what Dr. Prasad recommends. At the very minimum, he recommends the basic bundle. That's the one on the bottom. So that's the microdaily and the probiotic. But the optimal benefit to someone with CKD would be the core 4. And can you confirm, Dr. Prasad, that there's no contraindication with medications that a person could be taking?
No, because it has been clinical study has been done, and there is no interaction. Actually, it is improve the effectiveness of drug. So combination becomes more better than just individually.
Wow.
But there you have to worry about it, if your blood glucose in some individual can go too down, like 70 or less, then you have to talk to your doctor to reduce the doses, and the doctor will reduce the dose of the medication that you are giving.
That's right. That's right. So there you have it, folks. Just simply get back with the person who invited you, and they will help you. They will help you set up your own personal account, and you'll get access to the very same products that that have been discussed here, and that we strongly believe. We just have the feeling that the kinds of things that others have talked about, that maybe you'll find to be some benefit to you as well. Now, some have been wondering, well, are we going to talk about this some more? We said that we were going to be discussing the other aspect of this chronic this kidney disease issue. And at the very beginning, we told you that it was diabetes was a major contributing factor, and that high blood pressure was also a major contributing factor. Well, Dr. Prasad is going to come back with us again. Take a screenshot of this, what you see now, because this will be what we'll be discussing on March the 17th with Dr. Prasad. He'll be back with us again, and we're gonna explore the other aspect of this, exactly how it is that the kidney problems are related to, specifically related to high blood pressure.
Mhm.
So, and Dr. Prasad, how common is high blood pressure?
I think in older individual is because of again, if you are not doing anything, the vessels get narrow and blood supply gets hard, especially heart is not pumping enough forcefully, and that can increase the blood pressure. It is related to heart problem. And capacity of your heart not, pump sufficient amount of blood so that it can go to various organs. And that reflects in the blood pressure high, because heart disease directly related to heart disease. Because that's why in case of diabetes, most of the people diabetes have a high blood pressure. Indeed. And that they also develop a lot of heart disease.
Yeah. Well, one of our slides, said at the beginning that once you get to end stage kidney disease, it can lead to stroke, heart disease, and death. So, well, we're going to dive into that again. So
They're all linked,
it's all linked.
Yeah, but again, at all stages, oxidative stress and inflammation are involved.
That's
The
the
level
problem.
varies. Sometimes it's lower level, then you have less damage. As you progress, it becomes more acute.
There we go. All right, folks. We can look forward to having this discussion a little bit further with Dr. Prasad on March the 17th. So, if you feel, again, my name is Jonathan Jones. It's been my pleasure and privilege to be your host and moderator for today. We strongly recommend that you seek the competent medical advice of professionals that you trust